Yo, big up yourself, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marvellous Benjy, and you're live on Rythm and Vybz. Give it to them. Kaboom!
Attention! Old dance gone, new dance home. Listen this song, Mr. Benji bring come. Right.
Yeah, what's up, good people? My name is Benjamin Ukweje. I'm from Bayelsa State. As a musician, I am popularly called Marvellous Benji. Give it to them! The story of my music career started maybe now when I did my picking belly, my Marvellous, I don't know, but when I was in secondary school, I used to hang out with one of the members of Black Reverends, the Young Boys, which is Shop 2 in school. But actually, I decided professionally to go into music after I left school, and I got involved in a particular platform where we had to learn how to perform. We had the platform to perform there. It's called Ragadop Chapel, RODC, back there in Ajegule, where I met the late Johnny Nabbs, may his soul rest in peace. Then after which I left there and I went to meet Mighty Mouse in Jahoua studio. That was when I perfected my craft as a sound engineer and a studio producer. And I started all through this process. I was developing my craft as a musician. And I wrote my first song while I was in Jahoua, and I produced my first song living in Ajegule back then. So all through the process, I also was involved in a group. Then, a couple of us, 3 of us. Then after which I had to go to Ragadop Chapel as a solo artist. And so that was how I recorded my first song, and I started promoting it on. Back then, we used to have just electronics and print. There was no social media then, so I was using radio stations. If I have to call some names, I don't know. But then the radio station was a proper means of promoting our music. Fortunately for me, by the grace of God, one of my songs peaked on radio because the style was a little bit new then. We're a little bit of reggae, and my gender kind of music is dancehall, to be precise. From the African point of view, Afro dancehall. So that was through John Nabbs and Mighty Mouse, I became a professional musician. So that's my story, and that's my story.
Hey. New dance with the rain for town. And very easy, you know have to jump around. Hey. New dance, Mr. Benji bring come on. #1, Miss.
Well, I think the challenges are still there now because we had to push everything ourselves. Yes, we have some artists now who are privileged to begin their career as a musician with the help of a record label. Then we had to push ourselves to a certain level, where the record labels then had to notice you. So those are the challenges we had. We had to put in every effort financially. We had to produce. I had to write. I had to produce, mix, master, by myself. Until the song got on radio and became a little bit popular, and then when I had influx from the record label. So those were the major challenges we had: promotion and marketing. You understand? So those were the challenges we had. I didn't. My parents weren't really in support of my career as music, but God has His way. I just one kind. Made it through, and eventually when I became popular, my parents started accepting me as a musician, and so just like that. Yeah, I can remember I was producing one of Ajegule musicians then, a group called Ajibright and Super White. Baba God, we go wound them. So as I was producing them, I was working in the studio with them, and one of them, Super White, started dancing a particular dance, And I was just looking at the step while producing. It was a very funny dance, and I said, I had the feeling, to give it the dance a name. So I just got a beat around the beat I was doing for them, and it all just went in, and boom, the vibe just came in. that we had Swore, we had the Makosa, we had Galala, we also had and the rest of them. But now this new dance is coming to take over. That was how the song just came.
Brown new dance stuff is settled in the middle, and to the left and the right. Come on, to do this war, so you must be on.
Like I said, I produced Baba God, We Go Wound Them, became popular. I produced Blackface album, Ghetto Child, Hard Life, When Will They Live. I produced the album, mixed and mastered. I started to look. I produced my all my songs have been produced by me, recent and past. And to mention a few, I also had privilege of working with Cobams that produced too. We worked together. Then he was coming to Jawa. I also worked with African China after a while, and I also started the production of Downfall Drivers. You know, and along the line, you know, my chairman, Mighty Mouse took over. So I can't remember, but I've done a lot of production with a lot of artists. You know, I did a song with Daddy Shoki also, so, and all these are part of my production. Back then, we used to have a lot of, as a dancehall oriented artist, we were listening to a lot of foreign music, you know. But just a name, I mean, like even in Nigeria, I was listening to Majek Fashek. Then outside the country, were likes like Beanie Man, Shabarangs, and the rest of them, Capleton, you know. We're listening to a lot of reggae vibes and dancehall music from Jamaica, London, UK, and America. So those were my vibes because I was focused on doing dancehall vibes, and dancehall was my agenda. So till date, so. Well, people begin to see my videos, you know, and they quickly associated it with the song on radio. And so when I started moving around the streets, you know, I saw your video. It's him. I saw you when I saw singing on TV, and that was how we begin to realize that we have now moved on from just being a normal into being a public person, and so we begin to look out for what we do on the street and what we do in public. Yeah, I think they probably must have been hearing my songs on radio, but there was a concert they organized at the beach then, Kennis Music Festival. I went for the first edition. Eventually, said I came late, so I had to prepare for the next edition. So when I got there, I met Bengali the first, correct guy, and he knew my music, and he said, "Man, this guy, are you going to be on our stage today?" I said, "That's why I'm here." I was just far around the stage, you know, and so he was the one that brought me into the backstage, introduced me to Kennis, and he said, "Okay, yeah, we know the song. Okay, let him perform." And so I was given the privilege, I was given the platform to get on stage at Kennis Music Fiesta, and all of a sudden, when I came on stage, the whole crowd was just like, man, boom, and that was when they said, okay, maybe we can work out something together. I said, okay, fine, and that was how I got working with Kennis Music.
Put it down, new dance, Mr. Benji, bring come on. Number one, now the dance can done. Come on. Listen to me lyrics and
I think the first day I was told I was going to be on Kennis Music, I was very, 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 very happy, very proud. I would want to say it's one of the most memorable days in my career. I haven't realized that I was going to get on Kennis Music on the platform. I don't remember whether I slept with that day, but I was very happy. In as much as I'm concerned, I've not had any reason to feel negative with them, especially at the moment. We had what we had, and I eventually had to apologize, and we had to move on. And so right now they're into radio and media. I'm still doing my thing, you know. So I would say the relationship we've not really had met too many times, but the few times we met, it's all good. We try to take the past behind us and look towards the future together. I was very close to Blackface, you know, and the Plantation Boys then. And Sound Sultan, may he so rest in peace. Very great guy, you know. In fact, we also worked together in Kennis Music. when he came in before I left also. And a couple of guys, in Ajegule, I normally have quality relationship with almost all the players I used to work with, then Danko drivers, and the rest of them. If I have to be sincere, by virtue of our art and our craft, Ajegule is a community that is well known for music, sports, and maybe before crime. The local government in Olodi, in Ajeromi, Felodun, have really done well this past government in terms of, we used to play football on the sand before, but at the moment we have a lot of synthetic pitches around Ajegule where footballers can really prepare themselves before they go out foreign. So in the football or sports facilities, developmental facilities, the provisions are beginning to come up. I would be very happy if the council can also try to develop music in Ajegule, because music has also brought about a good image for Ajegule. You understand? So if we can have a talent development center where musicians can see a platform to practice and perfect their craft as musicians or producers, that will go a long way, just like what they are doing with football. Because a lot of scouts normally come to Ajegule now to come and get footballers, basically because they have good pitch to play football now and they can be able to see, the raw talent. We can also have that in music. That would be very good. That is just my advice for the government. If it is possible, that would be very good for us. Like a development center, both music and art and theater. We have a lot of actresses and actors that came out from Ajegule. They are still coming out. Likewise, musicians, but there are no professional platform on ground to enhance their talent. So if the government can look into that would be very good. Not just Ajegule, every other grassroots or ghetto community nationwide. Unfortunately, my oldest friend is an actor, Maximito Chendu. I have a lot of friends, that I have a lot of respect and love for Professor Lincoln, and also people that will still have time to see, you understand? Even Mad Million and the rest of them, So that's just, when you say friend, there's a difference between friend and colleagues and stuff like that. People that, I just said, my oldest friend so far in the entertainment industry is, unfortunately, is an actor, and his name is Maximito Chendu.
You go know them don't smoke. Step aside if you know you can go. It's very easy.
Yes, if they can follow me on my handle, they'll get all the necessary information they need on my latest jobs, because we're still recording and we're still performing, and we're still doing the best that we can to contribute, to entertainment music industry. Sometimes it's very inspiring when people say, man, you really did a lot. You made me. I was listening to you, and I meet a lot of artists then, and they tell me this. I feel good, man. So we're still working on it. I've got songs. Once you can be able to get online, I've got new songs going everywhere, and I'm going to shoot a video as soon as possible. So the easiest way to get vibes from Marvellous Benjy is just to follow me on my social media handle, especially the Instagram. So if I'm permitted to say it here, it's okay. So you can follow me, the real REAL, real Marvellous Benjy, as in MARVELLOUS BENJY, not GI. Real Marvellous Benjy on Instagram, and there you can get all the necessary information on how you can get my new songs and the rest of them, and my daily activities in and out.
Them again, yo. Akosa, no they wound them again. Swap, now the new dance where they rain. Galala, no they do.
The changes are enormous. We can see that social media is involved, and the industry is far better than it was then. And so I'm happy to be a part of the development and how it has gotten to this level that we are in now. And obviously, the way it's going, it's very clear that it's going to get better. It can only get better with the industry. So I'm happy to be a part of I'm happy to be a part of this generation, and hopefully part of the nearest future generation to still contribute and to still make an impact, positive impact. The advice I would give young artists is to learn from the mistakes we made or any other person made. You know, sometimes it's difficult to learn from your mistake. We survive learning from our mistakes. So, by the grace of God, it's not certain that you might survive. I've seen a lot of artists having issues with, and I just sit and laugh. The easiest way to try it as an artist, upcoming artist, is to learn from the mistakes. So when you see people make mistakes, don't laugh, you learn. When you learn, you help yourself in the nearest future, and that's it. I love them all, and I know as a producer how to get the best from any artist when I work with. You understand? Because everything strategy, you understand. Hopefully it will work well. I get a lot of love for the video, vibe, energy, at the same time Wizkid mellow vibe and energy. So my brother, I don't know who I won't work with, where I go talk now, because anyone who he talks to, I work with. Me, I get the capacity to move with trend and to have the bend and everything. But as an artist, I know to get the position to begin name artists so that the other one will go first say you call this one, you call that one. You understand? Now so me I take Siamo, but I'm happy for them all. I'm happy to be a part of the generation, and I'm looking forward to working with any of the top 6 artists in Nigeria. Don't go make mistake, go look me say I be old artist. So if I play my new songs then for you, say usually you go shock. But you go tell your mind good day, say, Baba, you're active new. I'm very, very active. I move with trend, I move with spirit, I'm versatile. I'm happy to be a part of this generation. So my studio is there, I perform, go for events and gigs and stuff like that. Just hit me up on my social media and especially on Instagram. If you can reach me on Instagram, real Marvellous Benji, then the rest is history.
One of the dance can dance. Come on, listen to me lyrics and listen to me song. Oh yeah, la la la, no they do them again. Don't to know they sweet them again, yo.
Yeah, what up, my people? It's been a wonderful time on Rythm Vybz, and I'm about to sign out. Big up yourself and God bless. I'm out.
So they wound them again. Swore, now the new dance where they rain. Come on, move your body, me say to me be strong. Come on, style and style, me say pattern.